Well, hello again, everybody, and welcome to Cashin In With Carville for week number 10. I'm Zach Ewing. James Carville is here, as he is every Thursday, and we appreciate that. And we're here to pick some games. We're also here to talk about the biggest LSU victory since the national championship game in January of 2020. Just an incredible game, incredible finish, incredible atmosphere. Not too much cannot be said about that game Saturday night, James.
No. I love the story in the paper about the worldwide fans. Excuse me.
Yeah, didn't matter where you were if you were an LSU fan. And by the way, there are a lot of LSU fans who are also Houston Astros fans.
Ooh, yeah.
And I'm old enough to know that those hours where LSU beats Alabama and the Astros win the World Series, that's once in a lifetime. You don't get a night like that again. That's as good as it gets as a sports fan right there.
No, done. Well, I had it in 2019, sort of, because I'm a national season ticket holder.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So I'm a little bit familiar with the feeling.
It's a good one. I wish I could have it one day, but we'll settle for LSU and Astros fans having a great Saturday night. And we don't pick the LSU games, but you were saying off the air, and you're absolutely right. This game in Fayetteville, 22-degree kickoff, 11 a.m., just an absolute classic trap game. LSU's a 3-point favorite. If they can win this, that is a sign of a mature team.
It is. And apparently there's some question about the Arkansas quarterback's availability. I don't know for sure, but I mean, that's where Brian Kelly, obviously the coaches ever did against Alabama and Ole Miss was something staggering. But he's going to have to be just as good for this game as he was for those two. Because this is Trap City, dude. Trap City.
No doubt about it. And you're right. KJ Jefferson, the Arkansas quarterback, is questionable, considered day-to-day. I guess practiced on Monday, didn't practice on Tuesday. We're not sure about yesterday. So a little bit of a question mark there. And he's kind of like Jaden Daniels, very dangerous with both his arms and his legs. So could be a trap game. We'll see what happens in the cold weather. But LSU in good shape.
Good, yeah. I mean, look, when you stop and you think about the state of LSU football in January of this year.
Just 9 months ago.
Yeah, 9 months ago. And, the staggering thing is we're starting 5 freshmen, true freshmen, not redshirt freshmen, 5 true freshmen, two at offensive tackle. I mean, that's just not done in this league. And, now we're now in the number 4 recruiting class, coming in. So, Jaden Daniels, good chance we can hold him for another year. In the quarterback situation at LSU, man, the pipeline we've never been, in DBU, we've never been QBU. We are now.
Yeah, Walker Howard in the pipeline. A lot of other
guys in there. We've gotten some huge recruit. I mean, it was a good article. I think it might have been Athletic or something, but it was a good article on the quarterback situation at LSU, which is very favorable.
Yeah, and the future looks bright. Obviously, the present is not bad either. And if Jaden Daniels does come back next year, LSU wins the SEC West, the hype train will be speeding out of the station before next season. But we'll worry about that then. Right now,
hype train. Shit. Hype train wasn't anywhere last year.
That's right. LSU playing Arkansas at 11 a.m., 3-point favorites. And now we get an opportunity also. We don't get to do this very often, but we pick the 3 biggest games of the week. Well, the Tulane Green Wave happens to be in one of them. They're playing at home against UCF. Tulane's 8-1. A chance to win an AAC championship, get to a New Year's Six game, possibly play LSU down the road. That's all down the road. Right now, a very tough Central Florida team. Tulane's -1.5. What's your pick here?
Well, I hate to do this, but I'm going to pick Central Florida. I'm pulling for two. Now, I want to lose this, but it's just, I got to stay with it.
Got to stay with the handicap. Yeah.
But we could play Tulane in the Cotton Bowl. Somebody has that protection.
Yeah, it's a at-large team against the group of 5 team, and so that's the spot where it can happen. And what a scene that would be.
Football game Tulane's played since 1998.
Yeah, no doubt about it. 24 years ago. So we'll be keeping an eye on Ullman Stadium on Saturday afternoon.
I'll be
at the same time.
Green waving against my pick.
All right. Yeah, and hope, like you said, you hope you're wrong. At the same time, Alabama plays Ole Miss. This is a game where LSU actually rooting for the Crimson Tide because they need one more Ole Miss loss, or they need to win both of their remaining games. So if Ole Miss were to lose a game, that gets LSU a margin for error to win the SEC West. Alabama's a 12-point favorite. A lot of points for a road team coming off a big game.
Yeah, I take Ole Miss. I think Alabama probably win the game. It's be good, but that's a lot of points too. And Ole Miss is pretty good. I mean, you know, they're good. And Alabama's
Absolutely.
good, but they're not that many points. Yeah.
Absolutely. And our last college game, really probably the game of the week nationally, and one of the stranger lines you've probably seen. Right? I know it is for me. Texas is a 7-point favorite against undefeated number 4 TCU. What do you make of this?
That they think Texas, 1 point loss to Alabama, and bettors are totally unemotional people. They set these lines, to try to draw as much money on one side or the other. They want you to walk into the trap, and I'm walking right into it and taking TCU.
I think a lot of people did that. Where I know it's a trap, and I don't
Right.
care. It
Okay.
just seems like too many points.
It's just too much of a trap game, blah, 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 blah. And then bingo, you walk right through the door. And I'm acknowledging all of that. So here we
I'm
go.
still taking TCU. All right. Well, moving on to the NFL, the picture for Louisianans not nearly as rosy. The Saints, and I mean, they've lost a lot of games this year. This was the first time to me they were not really competitive throughout the game.
Oh,
And so just a concerning loss on Monday Night Football to Baltimore.
the other thing, it was a boring game. I wasn't even mad. I was just bored. I stopped watching. Just, it was not a very exciting. There's been some bad football games in the NFL this year. It really
Especially in
has.
prime time. Yeah, it's been
Mhm.
prime time games have been terrible.
I mean, it hadn't been, they usually, you just, we'll wait till the last 3 minutes and get excited. Man, the whole thing just been, I don't know. There's something to quality, and there's been a couple of good articles on, what's happening with the quality of football we see.
Yeah, and I think part of it is the quarterbacks are just at a lower level than they have been in the past. And our first game here is being played in Munich, Germany, and we've talked about Tom Brady's struggles. He did lead a last-second drive last week to get the Bucs a win they really needed against the Rams. Now they go to Munich and play the Seahawks, and one of the surprise quarterbacks of the year has been Geno Smith, but it's Brady and the Bucs who are 3-point faves.
I'll take the dog.
Go with Seattle. And Geno Smith in that one. And then one of the great quarterbacks in the NFL is Josh Allen, questionable to play with a thumb injury, a torn UCL in his thumb. And that's why this line, which opened all the way up around 10, is down to Bills -4. In fact, I think today it's down to 3.5. We're using Wednesday's line at 4 against the Minnesota Vikings. Where do you
Yeah,
go here?
we're betting today, so we're gonna take the Bills.
All right.
They
Take
got
the
a good
Bills
team.
even.
Yeah, they got a really good defense, and they got some horses, and they're at home. They got other shit going for them.
And Case Keenum, not the worst backup quarterback in the world. As we know, Andy Dalton up there as well. He took the job from Jameis Winston. Meant to ask you about that game. Saints on a short week against the Steelers. The Steelers not very good this year, but that's a tricky spot where things you could see things really going off the rails for the Saints.
And the Steelers are not that good. I mean,
No,
this is, yes, and we're not beating. You got to beat the teams you should beat. And if we were going to have any kind of season, that's what had to happen, and that's not happening right now. And I just know those guys. They really know what they're doing. I mean, the Saints have drafted really well. Their front office is really smart. They've earned our trust, and I'd be interested to see what direction they go in here. But
that
they
it
don't.
will in
They're
a
not.
lot of different.
These guys don't. Slouch and Mickey Loomis, Lee Benson. That's a crew that's not into losing.
No, and a lot of question marks. The rest of this season, then going into the offseason. So
No
we'll
way,
see.
man. I think if Bulls would have beat us last night, I'd have gone south on my Pelicans, but I'm still with them.
Brandon Ingram comes up big in that game. So
Sure
Pels
does.
now get 6 straight at home.
Sure does. I mean, Where are you on the Kevin Durant possible trade?
I don't think he's coming, and I don't think the Pelicans would do it. I don't think you
Right.
mortgage the young core you've got for him, but
Right.
it is tempting. I'll give you that.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's fun to talk about. But I love Brandon Ingram. I like the team we
He's
got. Maybe I'm
Yep.
a Pollyanna, but I like what we're putting out there.
Especially given another year or two, all those guys will still be together. I think they can be championship contenders with the core that they've gotten in 1 or 2 years.
Yeah.
One more football game to pick, the Sunday night game. Speaking of teams that are injured, the Chargers have been banged up as anybody all year. Now they go to the Bay Area to face the 49ers. 49ers -7 in this one.
I'll take the dog.
Take the dog there
Yeah,
as well.
7 points. There's a bucket load of 24-20 NFL games. There's 27-21 NFL games. None of that is uncommon.
There were five games last week that ended exactly 20-17. So there you go.
Yeah. I'm kind of like dogs,
We'll bark with the dogs this week. That'll be fantastic.
Absolutely.
And LSU in the morning, Tulane in the afternoon, Saints Sunday afternoon, another full weekend of football.
What time does Tulane kick off?
I believe it's a 2:30 kickoff.
They're on the Deuce?
ESPNU, I want to say. Yeah, ESPNU.
I have
it might be 2. It's worth check your local list.
I have the ESPN Plus package, so just so it's on there, I can watch a game.
You'll be good either way. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be exciting in Yulman Stadium. I really do.
No, it'll be a lot of fun. James, we thank you for joining us, and we'll talk to you next week.
You bet. Just to make a point there, Tulane football, and one of the best experiences in sports is Tulane basketball. I love that place.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It's a gym, and it's how good they are, but in the games, there's generally not very many people there. I mean, the referee lets you blow the whistle.
Gym gets kind of sweaty and humid and all of that.
It's the 6th oldest place where they continue playing college basketball, but it's a great experience. They're really good.
I like that plug. We'll do that. And Tulane, by the way, I think is 3rd or 4th favorite to win their conference in basketball, so fairly high standards, high expectations.
Yeah,
for the Green Wave there as well.
Their games are really one of the most fun things that I do, I like them on Saturday afternoon. All
right, go Greenies, go Tigers, go Saints, and we'll talk to you next week.
You bet.